Hi everyone, welcome back to Coding and Creating. Today we're going to be starting our digital music unit using an app called Garageband. Garageband is created by Apple. There's versions for the iPad and the iPhone, and there's also a desktop version that runs on Mac. So if you have a Macintosh computer, you can also get the desktop version. So we're going to go ahead and open up the app, and when you get into the app, if you've never created a song before, it may take you right into the interface, but since I've already have some songs, right here is the plus sign. So you hit the plus sign to add a new document, okay? When you get in, right now I'm on the tracks mode, and I can see all these different instruments. And we're going to explore this part of the program a little bit later in our lessons. But today, our first lesson, we're going to start with live loops. So right there, you click where it says live loops, and you'll see these icons that represent different collections of sounds and recordings. For our example, I'm going to start with this one over here called Electro Funk, and just give you an idea of what the interface looks like and show you how it works. So each of these little icons represents different recordings. So for example, if I press on this, let me turn up the volume a little bit, you can hear the drums. If I press the next one, as soon as that one's done, this one takes over. So if I press here, as soon as that's done, the next one takes over, okay? If I want to, I can stack some things up. So I can add this drum and this drum at the same time. I can add this part. See, I can start really getting a cool groove. Add each instrument if I want. If I'd like to trigger the entire column, let's say this one, I can press right here down at the bottom, and it makes the entire column go. I'm going to hit stop for a moment. All of the icons that have a circular shape are loops. So they just keep repeating over and over and over. And you can sort of see a representation of the type of sound file it is. If you have something like this that are all just in a single line, one of these type of recordings, it's just a single sound effect or recording. It goes once, but then it doesn't continue. It just stops as soon as it's done. So there's just that one little slap of the bass that comes down on that one. So if they're circular, and these are sort of some cool, more of like some cool little effects type sounds. Now, if you're curious about how to use this interface, if you go up here to the question mark and you press it, it shows you little guides. So for example, here it says to tap on a cell to start playing it. Over here it says learn more about the control bar. If we tap on this, it's going to give us a guide of this control bar up here at the top. So for example, over here it says that this is the My Song button, okay, and it saves the current song and opens up the song browser. So if we click right here, what it does is it brings us back to where we were, and I can click on the song that we were just working on and we're back into it. But that's the song browser. I'll click the question mark again. It also shows us that this button right here is called the browser button, and it opens the sound browser where you can choose your instruments and the live loops. So if I click right here, it brings us back to our different panels and recordings and things like that. I'll hit back to go back to my song. And here's a microphone to record, so I can record a vocal track on all of this. If I tap back on that little, notice that the microphone and this sort of waffle grid shape, the button just toggles back and forth between those modes. Here are some controls, so you can control the properties of any particular instrument. Okay, so I can, if I wanted to adjust the volume on that drum track or any of its properties, I could just click right there. If I go to this particular one and I go to the controls, I can control its volume and properties. This is the effects button. This is kind of fun. So what you can do is, let's say we're playing, let's try trigger a whole column. can do cool things like that. Here's a record scratch. You can change the effect. You can stop it, start it back up. It's a really cool effect to make it run backwards. And that's all under the effects button. Now, once you've gotten some ideas and have a really cool pattern of sounds that you want to capture, you can hit this red record button. So, for example, I think I'm going to start off the song. I'm going to start off the song with these two going. So I'm just going to hit the record button, and now my performance will be recorded. Now it's recording. And I think I'll hit this one. I'll add this thing in, this one. I'll add that one in. I'm going to add this. I'll turn off my help so I can see a little bit better. I'll go to here. And I'm going to come here. I'm coming up to my ending. And then I'll hit stop. All right. So now I've recorded a performance. And if I want to see, I can hit play and it will play back what I just did. If I'd like to see a visual representation of it, see this icon here. If I click right there, what it's going to do is it's going to show me sort of a recorded, all the different tracks that I recorded. Okay, so I could modify these. So if I wanted to, change how long that guitar went, I can modify it here as well. Okay, and I can sort of see if I like it. If I don't, I can hit undo. I can also tap particular sound files and delete them. But here's your undo button if you don't like it. To get back to the grid, I can click right here. All right, so once you are done and you're happy with your song, so let's say I love my song, I'm going to click on this icon in the corner. When you're ready to share your song, begin by holding the file and choose rename, and you can name your song. So in this case, I'm going to call my song Cool, and I'll hit done. Then you can hold it again and say share, choose song, and scroll down here and fill out all this information: artist, composer, your album name, and choose a photo. I had already done that in advance. And then you hit share. Now, if you're in class, you can choose this option that says AirDrop, and you can send it directly to my computer. If you're at home or you would like to share it to your Google Drive, you can say open in, and it will export your song. Depending on how large your song is and how complicated it is, this process may take a bit of time. So be patient. Once it's done, we're going to choose your Google Drive. Okay, so I'll say Google Drive. Then choose my school Google Drive account, and down here at the bottom it says select folder. I'll click on that, and I'm going to say save in my drive, and down here it says save. Once I've selected where I'm going to save it, then one final step, I hit upload, and my song is now saved to my Google Drive. I can't wait to see what you create, and have fun making music.